vegan spicy kale.
Mm-hmm.
The vegan spicy kale and the chickpeas.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Delish.
I mean, I don't know. I just love the idea that we know how to nourish and take care of our bodies. People say that your body's a temple, but to actually do the work to care for it like that is a whole nother level.
It's a whole nother level.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to recognize when the needs change.
Oh my goodness. You know, that was my discovery after 60. I did not know, Dr. Tammy. And we're going to talk at length about this, you and I, at some point, because we really let people know after 60, all of your minerals, your body stopped making stuff. So if you're not supplementing, because our food is malnourished anyway.
Right.
So if you're not supplementing, that's what causes the aging. And people are like, I don't like taking pills. I don't like, okay. And one of my clients told me that the other day. I said, listen to you.
Yeah.
Are you saying you don't like taking care of yourself?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't like cooking for yourself.
Yeah.
You don't like taking pills. You don't like exercising. So all of those are indications of lack of self-love. She was like, oh. I said, absolutely. Love is not about how you feel about yourself, it's how you care for yourself.
Yeah.
And in our society, that is not emphasized. What's emphasized is looking good.
Yeah, just maintaining that.
As long as you look good. Oh, no. Oh, no. No.
Because that's only going to last through your 20s. And after that.
Yeah. And if you got good genes, maybe 40.
Maybe. Right? Yep. If you got good genes.
Maybe 40. I was thinking my body, I was down in Detroit this weekend. I was thinking my body I miss you. I didn't use cocaine. I didn't smoke. I started drinking at 13, 14.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was doing so many. And then I've been physically abused, black eyes, beat up by at least 3 men. You understand? I set in forgiveness to my body and myself and my soul, and just being so grateful.
Yes.
That not only did I survive that, but I actually got the lessons.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, there she go.
Oh, Rilana. Oh, there's her beautiful
Hello.
Hey, hello.
I was like,
I would have been on camera.
Huh?
I was saying I would have been on camera sooner. I was bringing my bags in. I lost my mind in Trader Joe's.
Ooh, I love losing my mind in Trader Joe's.
Me too.
Oh, yeah.
If you're going to lose your mind, then Whole Foods, yeah.
That's right. That's the place.
All the vegetables. I bind up I think I hit that produce section hard. Hard.
Yeah.
I know. I'm gonna have to do that. I don't even know. I got such a full week. I'm like, I don't even know when I'm gonna go to the grocery store. But
yeah, I went yesterday to DeKalb farmers market. You know DeKalb's farmer market moved in Atlanta. Everybody.
Yes.
So I hit that yesterday. So I got it out the way.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. I was in Detroit. I don't know the last time I went to Detroit to a party.
Oh, what kind of party?
Just one of my friends was like, hey, I'm going to Detroit. My people want you to come. Yeah, I'm gonna pick you up. I said, oh yes, I need to get out of here. Oh yes. I said, can we see my grandbabies and my granddoggies? If you say yes, I'm ready.
I saw the pictures right before I came off.
Oh my God. And we went to the party. After the party, I said, it was like 2:30. I said, am I the only one that wants some French fries right now?
That's what happens.
Wait, and you know what? They know me as the healthy one, right?
I know.
Some shit you just gotta do.
I was gonna say, if you're gonna be out there late,
detox all next week anyway, okay? So finish these fries.
if you're gonna be out there late, you might as well finish it off with some fries.
Hey, my beautiful niece looking like your sister and your daughter and your mama.
Look at her, cute.
You mean they look like me?
Oh, whatever.
Start barking.
Right. Don't start, right? You know she the older niece. So she be like, you gotta call me. Don't get
They
it.
look like me.
Right.
And I look like hers.
No, you act like her.
Hey, hey, love.
So
Yeah.
I did thank you all of you. It's so funny, and you know, all of you are my favorites in a different kind of way.
Oh,
And it's so funny. I certainly missed the time me and Rolanda used to have long before she became master for us. Say, Moo, where you at? I'm coming up. I got a bottle of wine and we talk. Pull them cards out. We gonna work through something. Moo, where you at?
Yes.
Come on over to the loft. Come over here right now. I want you to see something. My ass be like, what we gonna do now?
But you know what is I always say this because you are always so timely. The universe sends you right when you're supposed to show up, because when the student is ready to teach your peers, and you always like clockwork.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Girl,
Yes.
my spirit told me all this garbage they have out here. I say we got the most amazing coaches, and every single one of you have a different segment of clients, a different segment of followers, a different segment of listeners. You understand that? We're not all talking to the same people.
Yep.
Right.
And even if we are, there are people that can't hear me, they can hear you.
That's right.
You understand?
That's absolutely correct.
So we have to put our words out there. We have to, y'all. We got some serious, and that don't mean we have to agree on topics and agree on everything, run the same. No, this ain't that. This is making a difference for those people who need an example and need a word to bring it up.
Yes.
You know, so that's why when the spirit said, yeah, we're gonna write books, I was like, damn, am I gonna write a book? And I'm sitting here and no, spirit was like, we like plural.
Yes.
Like many, like it was like many. So I only sent invites to the top 50 coaches, right?
Okay.
And I'm saying the ones that who's vocal, who are already putting themselves out there, you know. So I sent the invite to the top 50. And out of the top 50, only 5 of y'all came back like, yeah.
And I was delayed. I was like, how did I miss this email? I was like, oh, all the garbage comes through and I missed this email.
Yeah. And reminders bounced from Good Girl, from Yahoo, from Google. I was like, listen, bad girl. I said, what is your I don't see no email. Well, I guess not.
That's how I was when I was zailing you, boo. I said, oh, I already got her my thing. I said, let me check. Let me double check. And I was like, okay, she got another email that she's using for Zelle. It's different than what I had in there.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure I used the proper one. So I was like, okay.
Girl, I was just like, and somebody taking it out. I think 2 people was like, I don't have money. I said, you should know by now that we ain't writing no book in one day.
Right.
So whatever you send me money, it ain't even about me getting the money. It really is about really qualifying the process.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. It's like a grounding.
That's right.
You know, you got to plug in. And
right.
our currency, money is our plug-in currency.
That's right.
That's why I don't be trying to be like, oh, with this, listen, I checked on Hay House, they got $1,500 and then come here. I'm like, now they ain't even running what we running.
That's right.
You understand?
That's right.
Because we about the downloads too.
That's right.
So you know.
That's right.
I'm like, it'll be $35 when I'm 105. Shit. You know,
Yes,
Put the
Moo.
plug in.
I appreciate you so much. Thank
Yes, I
you.
appreciate you all. So I want you all to give me a check-in on your week. Give me an idea. Take about 3 minutes and talk to me about your why in wanting to do this work for yourself. Just a quick check-in. And then how was your week as an author? And I know Rolanda, you and Dr. Tammy, you still are, because remember, you know how I speak what we do into existence, right?
Yes.
So we have to speak, act, be the authors.
Yes.
All right. So Landa, I'm gonna have you go first since you were here last week, and then the other you fill in. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm always in Arthur mode. If you look at my post on Facebook or other places, I post a lot. I mean, not a lot, but they're lengthy, right? But I have been sitting in a conversation of what the topic I'm using and how to heal from that. And I have been seeing how other people are operating in what I'm writing about.
Mm-hmm.
So it's giving me, I'm in a new perspective of seeing people from a different angle, from a different lens. Um, I got angry. I don't say angry. I was a little irritated earlier about something that I've told someone about. And when we went back to the conversation that you said about, you don't tell everybody everything.
No, I say don't tell anybody anything. Okay.
Yeah, that's what you said that.
Because
And
go ahead.
so it showed up. And then when I finally said it, because when my friend Carla, she said, remember you mentioned to them that you wanted to do A, B, and C. And I'm like, yep, I sure did. And you know what? That came back to me. So I just been reflecting, been doing a lot of just a lot of things of getting more into who I am and in this process. So that's why I've been really sitting inside of that and being a service. Like I've been really looking at what service look like, where to stay away from, because I have been invited. Went to a party. I didn't go. There's a lot of places that I'm not sitting in because I'm being intentional now. So this week has been I won't say emotional, but I've been more intentional.
Oh, well, it was probably all got some emotion. This full moon was emotionally in our butts.
Yes. Yes.
Well, Dr. Tammy, that Aries in you may not have had too much bother, but the rest of us was fucked up. Just let me say it like that.
Yeah, it was an everyday, but I felt a little intensity, but you're right though.
Yeah. So keep going, Dr. Tammy. What about you? How are you and the why in this process?
So the timing is absolutely perfect. As Rolanda said, when we ready, you show up. And I have been designing this Create Your Avatar Challenge for this fall with the idea of how do I want to bring together my experiences, my authentic experiences in helping to support people to transform in a way in which they do not need my physical presence to do so.
Oh, yes.
Right? Where it could be impactful without coaching. Now, of course, having a coach to coach you through the possible book or guide, and that's another thing, like my mindset is on, do I want to do a guide? Do I want to do a book? Do I want to do an ebook? Do I want to? So
or both.
Okay, or both. Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely. So I think that I think as an author, with me getting all that together, that was sort of floating in my mind. How much information to, because as you stated, Shemsu-t, I have a lot of books in me, so I don't want to give it all away.
That's right.
In one book.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I've been. And I've had a great week. October is my favorite month of the year. I don't know why it is.
Mine too.
And I made a decision to come off of social media for this month because I want to enjoy every second of October. Like every millisecond, I want to be present. I want to be able to commit that extra time to being laser focused. So I think this week was more about me preparing for today, because I'm like, books, whatever, however God brings it, I want to be focused on getting, getting the information from you, of course, learning from you,
But downloading, absolutely.
and yeah, downloading, and then
Mhm.
putting into action.
Put it to action. Absolutely.
That accountability. I want to be fully present for this
Mhm.
process.
That is so, and I'm glad you say that. I think I'm gonna join you in going off of social media. I would invite the others of you too, because here's what I want you to know. Sometimes when you remove your energy, it makes people thirsty.
Yes. Oh my God, that's the revelation I got.
It makes people thirsty. So if you're always giving them something to drink, they're gonna always come, look, where's she at? She give me some drink. To pull back. Now when you show back up, they're like, oh man, I be having people, can you please put something on Facebook? The world needs you out here. Just like, oh, I ain't post nothing lately. But suppose we all did that in honor of the work that we want to produce.
Yes.
You see that? In honor of that.
Yes. Yes.
What?
Yes.
And you got a question, and then Relana, get to your why.
No, she's clapping.
Oh.
Relana's clapping. Yeah.
Oh, that's too funny. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, Relana, what you got? What's your why? Why are you here? Dr. Tammy already told us your one that you said, so you got to come up with another one now.
Yeah, I have a notebook filled with books.
Yes, you do. And other people's books too.
Lord. And that's what it is. Like, I had been pushing my own efforts to the back burner,
Yeah.
so that I can help other people usher in and birth their books.
Yeah.
And so now I don't have I don't have any book clients.
Wonderful. Because we can
and
pay you to serve us. Wow, we serve you too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so for me, I've just been in a space of self-discovery, and doing a deep dive into emotional health.
Yes.
As it pertains to relationships and things, and bringing your best self to the table. Really, I met my mirror, and it's been interesting seeing these things reflected back at me, and learning patience.
That's right.
And learning to hold space, learning faith, and removing doubt, and really getting into shadow work. I picked up this book. I don't know if you all can see it.
Hold it a little bit. We saw it once. Hold it up. Don't keep right
There
there.
it is.
The shadow work. Oh yeah. Okay. Yes. The shadow work journal.
So I have been running from doing shadow work.
Oh Lord. And that's why the mirror's got to keep going boop.
Yep. And I'm like, you know what? I'm ready. And so I've been in a purging space, like revamping my place so that, my thoughts can be clear and flow through the space easily. A major step that I did, I got rid of my dad's television. It was a big floor model that I had, old school, and brought it with me. And I had his altar sitting up there because he loved TV and everything. And I don't know, I just detached one day and was like, I'm ready to let this go. And called the people. They came and got it. It opened up the space in my apartment, and made me excited about shifting things around. So and shift being a huge keyword just in this whole process.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just really reflective, thinking about relationships a lot, just because I did meet this mirror, and working through that and working through my thoughts, working through, you all said something interesting about removing yourself
Mm.
from you
Space.
know,
Mhm.
spaces, so
Mhm.
that they, people, or they thirst you, or thirst, become thirsty for the interactions and things like that. So, um yeah, just reflecting on all of that, um and thinking about how to formulate that into this book. So just kind of working through that outline of what I want to say and how I want to say it. And yeah, just like the format of it, and what stories do I want to share, the lessons
Absolutely.
that I got out of it,
And,
like that
and, and
whole.
like Dr. Tammy, not putting everything in one book so
Right.
that there's going to be, another book, another, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And a curriculum,
A
and
curriculum. And,
all
and,
those
and
things.
that's
Mm-hmm.
right. And then, I did speak about YouTube channels,
Mm-hmm.
podcasts, film
Mm-hmm.
treatments. That's
Mm-hmm.
how we want to make sure that we have the steps, and we're not just producing for the sake of having something out there. But
Mm-hmm.
because we are making a difference, we want to go deeper each time. So here's this. Here,
Mm-hmm.
you know what they say? They say you have to say something 7 times for an adult to get something.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you remember as children, what did our parents say? I'm only telling you one time.
Yep. Yep.
But guess if we didn't get it that one time, we got smacked. I don't know about y'all, but I got smacked if I didn't get it the next time, right? So with adults, imagine that as children, we built up such a defiance in how people responded to us that our receptivity is almost nil.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost non-existent. So it takes 7 times for somebody to get something. So you have to do it in different formats. You have to say it in different ways. You have to give them pictures, and you know what I'm saying? So we have to think like that. We have to think in that expansive nature. Doesn't have to be a whole lot, the whole kit and caboodle. No, you do it like this, do it like this, do it. You see what I'm saying? That's why I was saying, Tammy, when you said either a book or work, but both, and you can, that particular piece, either of you, because all of you probably need to have workbooks with your books. You can create as you go.
Yes. Yes.
You see?
And
So
yeah, and like for me, just in that whole mirror piece, I met my mirror as he is working through a heartbreak. And so it's been interesting experiencing that, and being a safe space, but also establishing boundaries and creating a safe space for myself, which is that boundary.
That's right.
But just still, actively listening, and not holding close that no rescuing.
And that's so that is oof.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most maturing factor in
Mm-hmm.
our spiritual development. And
Mm-hmm.
most people can't get past that
Mm-hmm.
because we have been taught that we're supposed to save other people. But
Yeah.
what we're supposed to do is be present,
Mm-hmm.
not save,
Mm-hmm.
not
Yeah.
rescue,
Mm-hmm.
not, let me do that for you. You do that for them, they develop no strength, no
Yep.
self-knowledge, no endurance, and then they think that somebody is supposed to always do it. So when you decide to set a boundary to not do it, that's what makes them go someplace else. Because you not set the boundary in the beginning that you are too in the same growing school that I'm in. We all growing.
Yep.
And you got to do your work. Even if I did a lot of work, I still got work. So you got to do your work too. Now we talk about it, but I do not coach in relationships. I do not let a man think I'm their authority.
Yep. And I like
go get you a mentor. That's what I tell
you. I made recommendations for people to speak to, so that it didn't turn into a thing where the only time you wanted to engage with me on a and lengthy conversation and all of that was to have discussions about that. I'm like, call your therapist, call your coach, because
you can't pick my brain.
Right. That's exactly right.
I let somebody get away with that, and I'm like, that I gave him book title.
And then to turn around and associate me with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when you think of me, I don't want you to think of me as the person that's going to listen to you going on and on about stuff in your past when I'm your present and your future.
And then you do, we've seen too many movies where the woman saved the man and he goes off and finds somebody else.
Oh, I lived that movie. I'm not Build-A-Bear or Build-A-Bay, and I'm not doing that. You don't bring your broken pieces to my door unless you're a client. And not even to my door.
I made several movies like that. Okay.
I was in all those movies.
That's what Rolanda talked about, that shadow work. We had so many opportunities to get it, but no. Here comes the next one. Right. All right. Well, I wanna make sure that we get this week's objective is to discuss and work through the outline, and to talk about creating our first mock-up book cover using Canva. And the idea of the mock-up book cover is merely to use as your visualization piece. The book title, the working book title, with your name on there, should be either on your refrigerator, on your office, your bedroom, someplace where you're going to see it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because what do we do? We look at the end and we go backwards. Okay. So it doesn't mean that's because when we do the mock-up, it's just for us. When we get ready to do the cover, that's when we consult with Rolanda and say, okay, how do we really make this official? You see what I'm saying? That we'll do it then. But for this part, so next week, one of your things is to share with us the mock-up of your book cover.
Okay.
Go ahead, Alanda.
So I kind of did that, like when I started writing the book that I'm working on, that I'm going to work on now.
Yeah.
I did that in a vision board. So I actually have an idea. I pretty much did that. Because I already drafted like the title. I told you I had already started working on this.
I'm thinking most people. That's
when we moved, I don't have the board anymore. So I did have it hanging up in my office.
Okay.
So I can see it. I had 4 titles on there that I was working on, and that was one of them. So I no longer have it because I didn't bring it or whatever. But that's a good idea. I have to do it again because that was something.
It's going to make a huge difference.
Yeah.
I always start with my authors. I tell them this is what I did for myself before Canva. I just put the name on there. I didn't know how the cover was going to be, but I put the name on there, by Shemsu-t or Recert or whatever. And that became what set where I could see. And that's my piece that I'm looking at when I'm in my writer's mode, author's mode. Okay. So that's going to be one of the things. And then we're also going to play with Bark in Chat GPT. So, you know, I want to show you all how to use that mechanism to support your writing, not to write your book.
I
Okay.
use that now when I write my articles.
Yeah.
I use that now. I use both of them.
Yeah. So you want to use it to support. Now, here's the thing. All of the stuff that we've taught and been speaking about and all that, it's out there. So you will hear your own words come back to you. I put some stuff out there. I was working on a meditation class for students, and I put some stuff out there, and I that, hey, that's from ACES back 10 years ago. Wait.
Mhm.
But here's what we want to realize. You know how the universe is. When an idea comes, it doesn't just come to you. So this is the same way this AI work. We got to realize this, all these AIs are doing is copying how our mind works. We know about consciousness, subconsciousness, and superconsciousness. AI is the superconsciousness. So we want to use that, okay? All right. So now let's talk about this outline. I'm going to pull it up if I can find it on here. So did you?
So I got a quick question for you.
Yes.
What are your thoughts, or anyone can jump in, about not using your actual name? Like if I wanted to.
Pseudonym, absolutely. So Shemsu-t is like my pseudonym.
Yeah.
You know, and I've used that on several of my writings, several of my published books. And then I know that a couple of our coaches use pseudonyms.
Okay.
In their practices and in their writing.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with it. Just make sure that you keep the and probably, Rolanda, the legalese clean. You know, so that in the publishing process that your name, you know, publishing, you know, as, you know, this, but Tammy, Dr. Tammy Matthews, you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be in the book, but in the documentation that follows it. Because we have to go through the whole process of going into, what is it called? The Library Book of Congress, all of that. And you want your real name attached to that so that you can keep your work clear.
Clear. Okay.
Rolanda, you want to say anything else about that?
I'm just co-signing everything with the head nod. Yes, all of that is very accurate. And yes, I mean, people do it all the time. They use pen names and things like that. So yeah, as long as you establish that you are, it's almost like DBA, doing business
as.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's no different.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. And there are some legal things I need to do though first, like during in the process, or is that something?
Yeah, that's something. Yeah, that's something we'll talk about as we're moving towards the publishing. Piece.
Perfect. Okay.
One of the things you'll notice is that when I'm working, I like to keep the creative, the right brain stuff, a little separate from the left brain stuff.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So the left brain stuff will come later.
Yeah.
Because once if you clutter it almost becomes challenging to see which one I need to focus on. You know, because we in society, we're driven to be left brained.
Right.
And so things are keep pulling you that way.
Right.
So our work is that the reason we're gathering is so that we help each other stimulate that right brain focus.
Yes.
It'll be easy to do the left brain stuff because you know it's out there.
Yeah.
But the writing is a whole nother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay. So can everybody see the working outline? And it's called the working outline simply because it can change, right? Now, one of the ways that you can use this, because if you don't necessarily have the book that you know you're going to write, You can start this, make a copy, and start another. Okay, you can, like Alanda, several of you have different books. You can, as you're working on one outline, you might say, oh, this is better for the other book. You can create several outlines at one time to help keep your thinking in order of how you're going to develop your publishing process when you have multiple copies. Okay. I wrote a series called Mommy Teaches the Young Ninja. And when I first started, I was almost including all of the Marv technique, and my spirit said, no, do meditation, then affirmation. You see that? So I had to stop and then write each one, the outline for each one, so that I did not put it in there. Does that make sense? Do you all get what I'm saying? So that's why we call this a working outline, because it gives you the chance to be creative and actually see how you're going to move through the whole publishing process and not just one book. Any questions on that? No questions? So now, you can actually just highlight, you can highlight this whole thing and just put in what your title is. So the book that I'm going to work on, and there we go. I was going to say, is it not talking to me? My computer is like, you've been gone. The Village by the Lake, right? I am deciding to write a nonfiction about the community here, but in South Shore, where there are these Black artists and entrepreneurs, and you know how the Great Gatsby. I want one of those here, but we by the lake and talk about you know what I mean, and talk about the I don't even know what it looked like, but I
love it.
I have some characters around me.
Oh, I love it.
And then there's the garden, there's the school, there's the, you know what I'm saying? The crackhead, So in this, the Village by the Lake, when I do that, one of the things, what I just said would be my objective. So I would write in here, talk about, a community of people. You see that? So this you can think of your working outline like a business plan. It's going to help you formulate the steps in which you're creating. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, guys?
Yep. Yeah.
Cool. Now, each topic, now I only have so many topics here only because of the page size, right? So you can keep going. You're not limited to 4, 5, 6 topics. This was just for the example so that you could have a working document to help you. Also, you may have other points underneath the first point. So all you do is you go in there and you just hit the tab and create another point, right? And well, that didn't do right, but you know what I'm saying? You create another point, another bullet to say, this is what I'm going to talk about under this point.
So would the main topics are those the chapters?
Yeah, the main.
Okay.
So the main topic is going to be your chapters.
Okay.
And then each of the first point, second, third, fourth are your sub chapters. Now, those don't have to be sub chapters, but it's going to tell you how it's going to flow.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. So, and again, this is a working outline so that you can have a space to come back and say, oh, what was I working on? Oh, that's right. So I'm working on this main topic now in my first point. Even if you don't finish the whole outline, you can start writing your book. You understand that? Now, I don't know about you, but when I've been writing stuff, sometimes I get too structured, and you want to be careful with that. that you don't get so structured that you crush your creative process. So if all of a sudden you start thinking of, you know, whoever or whatever, take a time and either you're going to, I talked about last week, getting your index cards or your journal, however, but capture it. Somehow capture that thought so that you don't sit down and get ready to write and say, oh, what was that I was thinking about? Because once you start writing and creating, these thoughts are going to come. You know, I be sitting someplace and say, well, you know, George would say something like this to Diane. I'd be like, oh, yeah, sure would.
Yeah, yeah.
Or you hear a great like when in Detroit, I heard some conversation. I saw some stuff. I was like, oh, that's gonna be so good in that book. Cause baby, I ain't seen this in Chicago, but that's going in the book, you know. And I picked up, and because I didn't have any writing utensil, I just picked up my phone and just, you know, typed it in, you know, like a little note, little memo.
Yeah.
I use Evernote.
Evernote, yep. Evernote.
Is that an app? Evernote?
Yes,
it's an app.
Evernote is an app. And I put everything in there, like t-shirt ideas, event ideas.
And just know that all of our Note and Zoom stuff is now free for them to use in AI, just so you know. That's
our what?
All, like our Zoom conversations, our Evernote. I use OneNote. Literally, their users, you know how they say, we have a new user, whatever they call it, policy. Please say yes, agree.
Yeah.
Gives them the right to use your information, repackage it and resell it without your name. And that's how they scour the internet. There was one author that came out about a month ago and said that my whole book is out there. I'm suing somebody because that's my whole book.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can look and think of, I don't know if there's some ways around it, but we can look. I know at our company, we've started doing something else. Oh, we actually changed our whole, we had a new system start because Microsoft did not agree to that. So Microsoft is like, nope, you cannot source our information. Yeah, Microsoft is like, oh no, you ain't scouring over here without permission. Yeah. So what I would like to see next week is at least the build out of at least your first, like if you actually can get your working title, again, remember it can change, and then a little bit of the objective, like what is this book about? Talk about the community, by the way, the community. Mine is talk about the community of Black folks. No, I said I couldn't be, because we actually have invited some migrants to move into our unit.
Oh.
Of course, they got to pay rent, but.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. In South Shore.
Okay.
So the reason you want to do this is because, Tammy, like pointing to what you said earlier, so that I don't put everything in one book, you want to make sure this is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Because it's so easy to elaborate. You know, to start talking about this and then go into that. We do that in conversation all the time. It's easy to do in writing. You know, but my thing is, when you're writing, don't edit as you write. Just write. Okay. You can later. And that's that's the piece where you can come back and say, oh, let me take this out and put it over here, and you save it for another book or another chapter or whatever. But don't edit as you write, because it again, that's that structure that stifles your creative process. What were you gonna
But
say?
then we have to write that on paper, because the little computer be correcting and be highlighting stuff, and that kind of bothers me when I see the little red lines. I know it's hard for me to ignore it because I've been in business
Now
so
that
long.
piece you can do. I'm talking about, yeah, it does, right? And that's a good, thank you, Alanda, for bringing that up. In again, don't let the structure get in the way. However, I do recommend longhand writing. And it's not like it's a preference, but let me tell you the metaphysics behind it. It literally does trigger the left brain to give you details. Remember, the left brain is the details. The right brain is the big picture. So when you use your hand to write longhand, it literally, they've discovered this in studying people that test well is because they've written out their notes, right? They've written them out. So when you're writing, and again, you can write it out and then come type it in. So the part that I'm talking about, don't edit, because when I type, I do check the spelling and all that. I'm talking about the creative side, where you second guess yourself and you stop and no, just keep going for the part. You understand what I'm saying? And if it bothers you, and yep, those red marks, yep, correct it, keep going. Okay. But use longhand to stimulate. The reason so many people get writer's block is because they don't know the secret to use, and dude in Conversations with God talked about that. He said when that download came, he had so many legal notepads. That's what he had when he went to the publisher and said, I need to publish this. He had legal notepads. Okay. So, you can do pieces at a time. All right. Does that make sense to you guys? Don't let that stifle you. If you prefer to type it out, go ahead, because everybody is different. Remember, we're all different. Everybody is different. So there's no, you have to do it like this. I'm just letting you know that that's one of the suggested ways. And then if you do get into a point where, oh, I promised myself that I will produce a page a day and nothing comes up, do the longhand then, if you've been used to typing. Okay. All right. So what I would like to see, besides the cover of your working title, is at least main point number 1 being built out. The reason that I want to see that is because remember we talked in session 1, in session 1, we talked about finding your writer's voice. So one of the things in our next session is that I want us to each be able to read portions of our writing so that we can help each other to hear and tune in. And we're going to do a couple of exercises with that. You understand? So you want to have something there to have us get a hold of. Okay?
Okay.
Any questions about that?
No.
Oh,
No question.
okay. So yeah, so you're gonna get to see what because I got excited because I'm like, oh, do I talk about this? Do I talk about that? Do I talk about this? What do I talk about first? And that's the fun part. So spend some time in the next 2 weeks having fun with that. Okay. All right. And then so now what I want to do is I want to go over to okay, Canva. So Canva actually does have a book template, right? Book template, right? Now, I'm not suggesting that you write your book in Canva. We'll get to that later. I just want you to see how they have these different templates you can use, and I just want you to look at the covers. They also have book covers. It was so funny because when Teresa Lugo was finishing her book, she was trying to find somebody to design the cover, and I kept saying, you got the picture, just do it yourself. But look, and baby, when she did it, she was so excited, because sometimes we sabotage ourselves a little bit, don't we? Because we really are scared to put ourselves out there. That's why I applaud anybody that's speaking their mind and being creative, because those people who are criticizing you are scared. So they really, would people focus on, I don't focus on haters or none of them, because first of all, you can do what I do, right? So, the idea, look at these book covers. Isn't that cute? Any of these, and you can just put your title on there. And then you can change the background. If you're not sure, and they do, I think they still have a free version, so you don't have to buy this. There's some that say that they're premium, but you can pay that one time $1 or $2 to use that premium. That don't mean you pay $12.99 a month for it. Okay. Was somebody getting ready to say something?
I was getting ready to say something. So I'm on the 30-day trial, because I was using it to do my Create Your Avatar.
Yes.
So you don't suggest that
oh yeah, I do suggest. I've been using premium now for about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Yeah, I use this for so many things. So many things. My memes, my whatever. I use them for so many things.
Okay.
Infographics, just so many things. Okay. But I just want you to see that you can choose anything out here. I'm going to look and see if I see something for, okay, I'm going to do this right here. Because I just want to demonstrate a little bit of why it's so important to just create for your creative process, right? And I'm just going to customize this template. And then I'm just going to click on here, The Village by, oh, not by. No, not by. The lake, right? Move it up a little bit. A novel by, I'm trying to demonstrate how simple it is, and you know how it's like, you can't, move Shemsu-t, right? Just like that, right? Now that becomes mine. You see that? The Village by the Lake, a novel by Shemsu-t. Now I would do some more, because I would probably put a village and a lake and all that right on here. But I just want to show you, you can play with this to get it to where you want it. And then when you want to use it, you just download. Boom. And you download it, you print it, and now it becomes your vision board for your novel. And I'm going to suggest that you don't make several of these. You know how we were talking about the next level? Nope, one. Do the one. And then after we complete this, you can do the next one, okay? Because we don't, if you have your mind working on too many things, Just like we were talking about, don't tell people what you're doing and all that. That's the same thing. It's pulling too much energy. All right. But this becomes something, I can print this out and just hang it up. Okay. So this is what I want to see next week. And I'm going to work on this some more and get it where it is where I would want it to be. Okay. Any questions on that? That looks simple enough, right?
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay. And yeah, and I don't suggest getting the premium until you want to. All right. All right. So that's that. So now I don't use BART most of the time. I use Chat GPT, but because I have so many conversations on there, I decided that I would come over here because I don't use it that much. But one of the things about using any AI is the prompt, right? Knowing what questions to ask, how to ask the questions, and it's all experimental. Okay, it's all experimental. Now, I'm going to just to demonstrate that it's all experimental, and I haven't did this, I'm going to say thinking, excuse me. See, Alanda, I have to edit as I go because they ain't gonna let me get it if I thinking like an author, write out 8 chapters for a book about a group of people that live by the lake. I don't know if it can do this, but sometimes when I put something in here and I'd be like, whoa. So the key word here, thinking like an author. Write out. So I'm telling it specifically 8 chapters, right? For a book. Now, it may try to write all 8 chapters. You see this? It tried to write all 8 chapters. Y'all see that? Let's look at this. The lake was a beacon of life in the vast wilderness. No, that's not my book. But you see what I'm saying? The villagers were a diverse group, but they were united by their love of the lake and their commitment to its protection. The villagers lived in a simple but fulfilled. It's not. Do you think this doesn't inspire me? This inspires me. This inspires me, right? And one of the other things, where's the other ones? Let me see. Focusing, let me see if it'll do it. Focusing on chapter 1. Add Jennifer and Barry as husband and wife characters engaging in a dialogue about fishing. You know, that ain't going in my book, but I just want to show you the experimentation of AI. Okay. Now, what's interesting, there we go. Look at this. One day, Jennifer and Barry were sitting on the shore of the lake enjoying the sunset. I love this place, Jennifer said. It's so peaceful and serene. Me too, Barry replied. I'm so glad we decided to move here. I can't wait to start fishing, Jennifer said. I've never fished before, but I've always wanted. Now, let me tell you what this does for you. It helps you with your sentence structure for conversation. Okay? And you know, the biggest part that we have to get past is we think that something isn't valuable if we haven't struggled. But that's not true. Everything is now at our fingertips, right? So we want to use it. Now, what you don't want to do is say, oh, I use, no, you don't want to do that. Okay? You don't want to do that. Because it really does interfere with people understanding the mechanism. Okay? What you say? Okay, Landy. You gotta go. Who is that saying they gotta go? Landy. All right. I am
Yes.
I am recording it. Okay. And so, and then make sure that you check in. Make sure, Alanda, you check in with your buddy.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
I will. And it's 2 weeks from now, not every
It's
week, right?
October 14th is our next
Okay.
session. October 14th. Make sure if she doesn't have her deliverables, I'm blaming you, just so you know. Okay.
Uh-oh. Okay. No, I'll get in touch with her today.
Okay. All right.
Bye, guys. Good to see you all.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Okay. That was all for the deliverables too. So, but do you see how useful this process can be? You don't have to use this process. I'm not telling you to use this process. Right. What I want to show you, and especially for people who are new at writing and listing their ideas and putting things down, sometimes you have to have a jolt to help you to write and communicate clearly what it is you're trying to say.
Yeah, to stimulate that side of the brain.
Exactly. When we're working with clients, helping them to find jobs, we actually have an AI writer where you can put in the title of the work that you're looking for, and it will literally give you the top 10 questions that they could possibly ask you in an interview.
Wow.
Besides that, you can click a button that says suggest answers, and it will come back and give you 3 possible ways that you can answer it.
Each question.
Wow. So now we teach people, take the question that best articulates the way you would say it, copy that paragraph or whatever, put it in a Word document. And now when you're preparing for your interview, this is where you go. You go and start reading through this instead of getting worried in your head, because that's what we do. We go in our head.
Right.
And when you go in your head, you disconnect from the interviewer, and that causes them to not really feel like they made a connection, and that's what you want to do. They ain't trying to be impressed by you. They want to know, are you a person that can make a difference with other people? And if you can't make a difference with that one person, they know you can't make a difference with other people.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Right. Wow.
All right. So look at this. All these different dialogue. Barry, I love this place. It's so peaceful, and now this is my first time doing that.
Wow.
Because I wanted it to be fresh for us, because I want to learn right along with you all and do this right along with. And Greg was the one, he said, I'm going to use ChatGPT to write my book. And I said, well, I'm going to suggest that you not do that for the whole book, and just let it be ideas for you. And the only reason that I say that is because, again, our unique thoughts are what? Our unique thoughts. It's not about, let me publish a book.
Right. I was going to say, my thing is that I don't want to be programmed on what I should put in my book. And that's what I see AI doing.
Yeah.
I want to be able to insert the downloads, that needs the whole purpose of the book, so that it can be effective.
Exactly.
And you said something really key about people who rush to publish just to say they published a book.
Yeah.
And they negate they don't think long term, and they don't think beyond local.
That's right.
So for me, if it's not New York Times bestseller material, I'm
I don't
not
want to put it out there. That's right. You don't want to put it out there.
I'm not putting it out there because the value is the key word. I
Yeah,
want to produce something that brings value beyond my local space and
that's
local
right.
circle. So
Absolutely.
that it's not a book that your cousin or somebody comes to the book signing, oh, I'm gonna just
My cousin wrote this book. Y'all go
Right.
get this book. Right.
Right. I want interviews. I want Amazon ratings and all of that because the book is deemed valuable
And it
with
makes
the
a difference.
quality
That's right.
and of the content.
That's exactly right. Now,
Yeah.
here's one of the and one of the reasons why, and we'll talk about this some more, why I choose self-publishing first. But guess what? After you sold so many, you can go to a publishing company and say, "Hey, can you?" But they could very well pick you up. Okay, so it doesn't limit you from being picked up, right?
Mhm.
But the idea is that you have certain ways of thinking that are not accepted in certain publishing houses.
That's right.
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 Okay.
Very true. Very true.
They're like, no, well, we don't, no. Now, if you're talking about this, the same thing with the music industry. They don't want you doing positive this, they want you to do whatever's going to presence.
Yeah.
Whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So part of our work is to get past that. But to your point, Rolana, when we're thinking globally and expansively as we're writing, we will take that into consideration.
And even for me, just as I have a goal to have my own publishing house.
Please.
Nice.
Please.
And part of and so it's I love the synchronicity of this because with you saying go ahead and create your book cover, I went ahead and created the logo.
Yes.
For this company. So
right.
I since I'm on my phone, I'm kind of multitasking and doing things a bit unorthodox, but I don't know if you all can see this, but let me try to hold it up so that is you don't
right there.
You see it?
Yes. Wait, hold on a second. Hold on.
Yes.
Yeah, hold on a second. Yes.
Oh, I love it. Hot and tight press. Come on now.
It is nice. Oh, that is wonderful. Yes. I can write something on Kundalini Magic for that book, for that house.
That's right. And so
Nice.
so as not to, dominate the conversation, but just to share, I thought about that and I came up with that because in my space with Good Girl, we deal with femininity, we deal with the body, we deal with sacred sexuality and things like that. And so Holden Tote Venus really resonates with me as one who is also endowed in the backside area.
Girl.
And one of the things that I noticed just me randomly researching stuff like I do because I'm a Sag. There are not very many books on Black erotica.
Wow.
It's not. You're right.
I think you've said that. You've told me that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. I scoured Amazon looking for books and independent people and all of that. But there is a certain mentality with Black and sex and sensuality. And so of course there wouldn't be something like that in existence. And so for me, putting together like a coffee table book and exhibits and things like that, conversations, all of that,
Nice.
became really important to me. Because of the space that I'm in, I know people who are doing that work. I know sex workers, I know shamans, I know poets, I know, all these people. And I think that it would really bring some value to the space, the book atmosphere. And not just, they just publishing smut or anything, not that I care about, I don't, the outside noise is outside noise, but
that's right.
just,
That's right.
Something, I just thought that was important. And so as I was thinking about that, I was really, thinking about the name of this publishing house, who the author, what the authors would look like, that get accepted into the space, what their content and material would look like, and all of that. So
Nice.
just
no,
also,
that is absolutely wonderful. In the first session, what I actually told the group was this, that what I see is next summer or fall, when we've all kind of published, we've finished, or we've gotten some level of productivity, that we would have, and we could do it over at South Shore. We can have our own Master Force talk, TED Talks, Master Force talk. Have people come, sell tickets, have our books, have books for sale, have, what I mean? Have, if you talk to people about, do you want to publish it? And I told them in the first session, I said, I gave you the handouts in the presentations, not just for you, but so you can then teach this as well.
Yes.
I don't want things to end with me.
Yes.
We have to, especially with our young people, they accuse elders of not passing stuff down. So we have to, and not all of them. Just all you need is one leader. Remember, everybody has a group.
Yes.
So that's what I envision us doing with this, and so Hot and Totten Press could be one of the sponsors, one of the people with the placard there, what I'm saying? Come over and sign up or whatever. Ways of looking at that. So not only did you publish a book, but you set up your publishing company.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's the level of productivity that I see. And then for all the other coaches to be like, oh man, now I don't know if you all know, but I started helping Teresa write her book in 2014.
You told me that.
I literally went to Puerto Rico and spent a month.
Wow.
And we all, in that month, we set up her outline, her working outline, what's going to be talked about, what's going to be in there. She could not finish the book because she felt like the book was about her dad. But for some reason, she couldn't, and couldn't. But her mom died. No, first of all, she was sick. So she had to move back home to take care of her mom. There was family stuff. You see what I'm saying? So she couldn't even focus on the book until she got that whole thing with her mom handled. So when her mom died, then she saw it. She was like, wow. I had to go through that before I could publish the book, because I had to talk about my mom. And now my mom and dad, they had 12 kids.
Wow.
She's one of 12.
Wow.
And the baby girl.
Wow.
And the black sheep. Like most of us are, right?
Right.
But you see what I'm saying? How that process, she could have got stopped in that process the whole way. And when we got towards the end and she asked me to edit that book, I said, oh, no, baby, I do not. She went to somebody and they said, okay, 2,500. I'll edit it for 2,500. She said, I don't have. And I said, okay, listen, I'll edit it, but you're going to have to buy me groceries. You're gonna have to do it however long it takes. You're gonna have to be buying me groceries, because that means I cannot focus on what I need to focus on. Because this is a process. This is not a, you know what I mean? And it's energy. Then after I edited, we had to sit down and read page by page to make sure it was her voice and not mine.
Right. After you edited it.
After I edited, because when she gave me her book, a whole chapter, not a period in there.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
And she's,
Oh.
Rolanda, you know what I'm talking about. And
Oh,
she,
yeah.
and she's bilingual, right? So she goes,
Yeah.
Mhm.
She writing like she talking things.
Mhm. And then
so
if you speak when you speak multiple languages, then you slip in and out of those
oh,
languages. So
especially
Spanglish
in the
started kicking.
creative. That's right.
Yep.
So I so at the end, I think she may have bought me groceries maybe twice, right? But
Yeah.
that wasn't it, because my spirit told me that Teresa has a voice that she has to, and I keep telling her, you are for the Latinas. I can support you, but you have to build out there. They need you. You have to go out there, right? And so every time she was doing something, she kept trying to include me. I said, I'm not your audience.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
You know, and so at some point you have to not be that attachment, that blanket, that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I can see that.
Yeah. And you have to, so when she went out there and she did it and she got done, she was like, Moot, I wanna interview you and let us talk about the process about it. We tried to do that. That shit wouldn't work. I said, no, it's not
Wow.
supposed to happen.
Mhm.
I mean, we literally got on and couldn't do it. I said, it's not supposed to happen, Teresa. It's not
Right.
supposed to happen.
Right.
This is about you. This is not about Master Force, and it's not about me.
Mhm.
And now she's been doing a lot of things that I had mentioned to her, like simple things, right? But again, like I said, you have to build to that ability, and I get it. You can't always be ready for the attention if you're not used to it.
Right.
Mhm.
So you have to gradually grow into that.
True. That's
Mhm.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But she did ask me to write the foreword. So, yeah. So she said, Mood, every time I present to a group, I read part of the foreword. I say, well, there you go.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah. Because I felt that book was not just for her and her family, but for the community.
Is she self-published?
She's self-published.
Okay.
Yep, she's self-published.
Did she translate her book? Is her book in English?
Not yet, Rilana. I was hoping she was going to have time to be in this group, because what I have a guy, and I'm going to suggest this when it's time, but he teaches film writing. And so I want her and Xavier to go to his course and start creating a film treatment. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the next piece. But exactly, Rilana, she needs to, and we can actually, and maybe I suggested her, maybe ChatGPT can help her translate.
True.
Yep.
All she got
And
to
then just have somebody check behind ChatGPT
Oh,
to
always.
make sure the
language is right.
The language is right, but the accent marks over certain words
and letters, absolutely.
Yeah, because I mean, like the tilde might be misplaced on something.
That's right.
Like and especially with those accents.
That's right. Because French and Spanish can look the same, but the accent marks are going to be on different places, in the la and the la and all that, and the L and the
yeah, and particularly it's Spanish, Italian, and Portuguese.
Wow.
Are the three languages that are similar because of the way they're written and spoken, the influences, historical influences, and how they all, like, for me, as an aside, as one who speaks Spanish, I was trying to teach myself Portuguese, and it has been a challenge because I can't turn It's a challenge to turn off the Spanish brain
It is.
brace.
Yes,
So
it is.
I have to find a Portuguese, like a elementary Portuguese language book written in Spanish, because to go from English to Portuguese,
Wow.
I couldn't turn the Spanish off.
Yeah.
And so I kept reading things in Spanish and completely missing the mark. So it was just really
I
interesting.
understand that, Relana, because I mean, so I studied Spanish in high school, how you have to take a foreign language.
That's right. That's right.
But then when I went off to college, Spanish was full, so they convinced me to take Portuguese. So I studied Portuguese for 2 years.
Yeah.
I only remember Bom dia, como vai? That is it. But it was so challenging because I had been trained in Spanish.
Yeah.
And now you're telling me, oh, they're so similar. Just enroll in Portuguese. Not at all.
Because TE in Spanish is te, but in Portuguese is che.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
you know, it's a whole different pronunciation. So I said, oh, let me put this down and come back to this. This is, yeah.
It's a beautiful language, though. If you
beautiful language. I have never even thought about learning Portuguese at all.
It's beautiful language. I enjoy it, but
yeah, it's very romantic. But that's why I took French, because French was very romantic. But when I went to Mexico, I was speaking French, and when I went to France, I was speaking Spanish. So I was like, man, fuck it.
I love it.
Right now, everybody in our complex is like, download the English to Spanish translator, right? So when we talking to people, we type in them, read this.
Yeah.
Yep.
I did that in Cancun. We were like, wait, what? We all were, though. They were doing it too. We were doing it.
Exactly. That's right. That's how you got to do it. So, but the reason I was telling you the Lugo story, and at some point I am going to have her and Xavier come and talk to us, in one of our sessions, but is because of the length of time. How people are like, oh man, I want to hurry up, because I wrote Patiently Waiting for Nothing in a weekend, right? But then it took another year for it to get published. And then even in the editing process, we used focus groups. So we can be each other's focus group.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
or we can have the, have other coaches. We have our whole team of people that can help us, and it is solid, So, I was just saying that because it gives us an opportunity to use our tribe,
So Relana and I are buddies.
You are buddies. I'm
Okay,
sorry, I should have said that. That was on my sheet. Don't forget to tell them they buddies.
Okay.
All right, Fire Women Unite.
Wait a minute. I was like, oh Lord, look at that. Because last week I had the Geminis. I was like,
oh,
yeah, I had
that's my
Gemini.
cousin.
Okay.
That's right.
So many Geminis.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna meet October 14th, same time, 4 p.m. If that doesn't work, guys, we just have to with each like going to out of town this weekend. I was telling my ride, I said, listen, I can go, but I gotta be back home, by 3 o'clock, because I got a 4 o'clock class, So and that's non-negotiable.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh yeah, we can leave at 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, of course, we didn't get into 3.
Wow.
And I was trying to have breakfast with my grandbaby, so rotation, they called me at 6. I'm like, oh yeah, we ain't up there. I'll call you in about it. Give me a couple hours. So we didn't get on the road. I think it was 11:11.
Wow.
Yeah. But that means it's 10:11 in Chicago.
Right. Oh, Detroit's on Easter?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah, it's on Atlanta time. Absolutely.
Okay.
So we got home. We got home at 2:11. I said, Oh, come on now.
Yeah.
Okay, number 11. Come through.
Yeah, come through.
Through 1
I
1.
done unpacked and everything. You know what I'm
Oh.
saying? I came right in and blew up the computer to make sure it was gone. Because you know how when your computer's not on the weekend, it has to reset. I said, let me do that first.
Oh, that first. Yeah.
So
yeah.
that
Yeah.
I'm not waiting, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it.
So in our next session, we're gonna be ready with our outlines,
Okay.
our Canva, mocks, and just one, and then the write out of at least part 1 from Chat GPT or whatever that you're going to use, or just your writing. Okay.
Okay.
And again, what we're looking for is really just helping us to find our voice, making sure that we can hear our own voices.
Okay.
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 And in the meantime, hang out with your buddies.
I was gonna say, Rolanda, I need your number.
Right. Give her your number. What's your number? What's your
You
number?
ready for it?
Yeah,
7
I'm
7
gonna put it at the top. Let me put it at the top of my page.
Right.
Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready.
And listen, I gotta write it down too. Wait. And then after that, I'm gonna give y'all my new number too, okay?
Okay.
I won't got a new number.
Not really, but yes, I do. I'll tell you the story. Go ahead.
773
Uh-huh.
339
339
1373.
73. Okay, perfect.
All right. And then here's my number. Keep the other number,
Okay.
but my personal phone broke
Okay.
about 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
So because it was trying to tell me for about 6 months that it was on the brink, you know, I don't have anybody's number. So I kind of been enjoying that a
I
little.
was gonna say that's gotta be a little good.
But I have my work phone.
Okay.
And baby, I do not like having my work phone and my private phone together, because that means, because with my work phone, I would leave it in the office and not deal with it after 5. Don't deal with it to 9. But now, because it's my private phone, it has to come to my bedroom. You see, and people don't care. They texting and I ain't gonna answer that. But then guess what you do? You do it because you see it.
Exactly.
Yep.
You
Like, let me get this
respond
out
to
of
the
way so I
email
ain't gotta
because it
deal with
came
that
through.
later.
Right.
Yep. I know.
I'm a trained professional. I can't ignore something because it's not Sunday.
Right.
Right.
I literally have to move it out of my sphere of influence.
I'm the same way.
So I'm gonna give you my number because I don't know who texted me, somebody on Facebook. Why can't I reach you? Your phone keep going to voicemail. I'm like, and I'm thinking after 3 weeks it should be 4, but I'm like, ain't nobody leaving no messages. Like I know that's moved, and they might be texting me, but it ain't working. So so write this down: 312 973
973
7219.
7219.
And I'll let you know when the other phone starts working, because now I'm in a conversation with my family because they want me to get an iPhone so that I'm trackable. You know, when you get 65, people think something miraculously happened, and you know, you ain't been tracking where I was going.
Yep.
All of a sudden, we want to be able to track at least. And I saw it happen earlier this year. My mentor, who's like, she'll be 75 next week, she fell at the train, trying to get to the train. She fell, broke her wrist. She called me and she said, I just fell. I'm going to the hospital and I broke my wrist. I think I broke my wrist. And I said, well, can I call your family? Because I'm thinking, I don't have a car. I can't get to you. Right. She said, yeah, call my family. I said, okay. So I text her. I called her daughter-in-law and I said, listen, you know, she just fell, and is there any way you can track her? She said, yes, I have her on my phone. She said, I'll call you back and let you know where she is. So she called me back. She said, she's at the University of Chicago. So I called the team and was like, listen, somebody get over there. You know, it was 4 people in the emergency looking for everybody, including the alderman. Because I'm like, go over there. I don't like elders. I don't like anybody in the facilities without backup.
Support.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Baby, she had so many people over there. So by the time she was done and one of my friends went and picked her up, they brought her to me. She ended up living with me for 2 months because it's like, I'm not going to walk up to the 3rd floor. I got to work every day. So you just got to stay.
Right. Yep. It was just easier.
And that's just easier because I got it. And that wasn't rescuing to me. That literally, this is my mentor.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're going to be taken care of.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know, and my children were like, well, don't she have kids? Don't she? I said, well, here's the thing. She got 2 sons and 2 daughter-in-laws. And sons and daughter-in-laws operate different with mothers.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes,
Mhm.
they do.
Now, if she had a daughter, that would be different.
Yeah, that would be different. Yes, exactly. Absolutely.
Right.
Wow. What a blessing.
What a blessing.
And she still had access to her things because
she could. Oh, listen, she moved half her stuff over. By the time we were done, I guess I got to move out. I said, she still got some books here. I was like, when you gonna get these books? One day she was over here. I said, your boots in the closet. I've been looking for these boots.
Lord.
And her and my other friend Anthony, they would sit up and when you going to bed? I said, well, you're rushing me. Well, we want to watch this horror movie, and I said, okay, I'm going to bed right now. And they would sit up all night watching movies. And
is that the one I met when I came over? Anthony. Was it Anthony? Is that his name? Yeah.
Yeah, with the motorcycle. Did I be on the motorcycle with?
Oh, the other. Oh,
our Anthony. Huh?
Did he surface? The motorcycle guy resurfaced?
No.
Oh. I'm thinking of the other guy that came that was moving his daughter.
Who was moving his daughter?
They had that truck when we went walking. And your other friend who does he live in Detroit? Where does he live? But he was in town to help his daughter move.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. No, that's not him.
Okay.
No, because Anthony does not have any children. So Anthony is the motorcycle guy.
Right.
So no.
Yeah. Okay.
So Rilana, to catch you up, I met several of my mirrors this year.
Oh boy.
I'm not making any choices right now.
Right.
We writing books.
and FYI, mine is here from Chicago visiting.
Oh.
Considering moving to Atlanta.
The one that I know? Really?
Has put his house on the market.
Okay, so we go listen. Between now and October 15th, we're gonna have a wine night, okay?
Yes.
Listen.
We need that.
We gonna listen.
Yes.
On Zoom, okay? Because okay.
Right.
I want to respect our time. That's right. Because it's
Tammy, so I can say, ooh.
Listen, it's time. About all of us.
Yeah. So Rolanda, when you was talking, but this is the twist. He was my client last year.
Yeah.
That after I finished services, I flipped him to Timothy.
Yeah.
Because he kept calling me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is becoming
different. That's right.
I need to make the separation.
That's right.
Yep.
So I flipped him to Timothy, but he just kept calling. So when I would come to Chicago, he opened his home to me. Beautiful home, but just always very good guy. And we became friends, but we are mirrors, and it's been,
Oh yeah. And when we get together, I got a new card book for y'all, but it hasn't came yet. It was something Lute showed me. Oh my God, y'all gonna love it.
Ooh, okay.
It's the version that they wrote Destiny cards from.
Oh,
1800 version.
Ooh.
The original.
Yeah. So when he gives me the title, I'm gonna tell y'all so y'all can order it too, okay? Because
Okay.
that might be another class. Because listen, when he was showing me that, I was like, oh my God, this is.
Wow.
He was showing me some stuff, and he literally had a deck of cards.
Cards that they created the book from. I was like, they had to have.
Oh yeah, and it says in there because I was reading, and it said something about thunders, 7 thunders. I said, "Oh, what is the?" He said,
Wow.
"Right." He was like, "I see. That's why I've been trying to tell you."
Oh my God. Okay, we going up. We going
So,
up.
Yeah.
so we'll try to schedule that on a Wednesday or Thursday night or something. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That would be perfect. So I can catch you all up about this mirror who in July moved to Dallas.
What
I
part?
know.
Wait, did he
This
live
one was
here?
supposed to
Yeah,
go
he's
through.
from here.
Uh-huh.
He's from Robbins, but when we met, he was living in Markham, Illinois. He's my frat brother.
Okay. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Whew.
Okay.
And so in offering referrals, I referred him to our frat brother,
Okay.
Asar.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So I don't know if he took me up on that. I know initially he was looking for I don't know people's logic. He's an Aries also.
Oh.
He wanted a female therapist.
Mm.
And I don't, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
let me tell you the significance of a female therapist for men. They it's easier for them to work through their mother issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And then later they can take on men as mentors. But if they have mother issues, it's hard for them to even get to their father issues until they deal with their mother issues.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's so funny because the
Yeah.
biggest thing for men is that they think it's taboo. You know, they make it mean that something's wrong with my mother instead of the problem is not your mother, is that you are in disagreement with the tools that she was using, but that's all she had. If you can separate the behavior from the person, you can still love her very much.
Yes. Yes.
But just realize that was just all she had. That was all she had to work with.
Yeah.
We're in a different society now. We can put ChatGPT and something and tell us to write a book.
That's right.
Right.
Our parents couldn't do that. They didn't even have encyclopedias available like that. Dictionaries. They didn't have, it was work.
Right. Right. Providing for the kids, focusing.
Providing for the kids, got to pay my bills. So, you know, that's why men tend to want, when they start seeking therapists, they tend to need a woman initially. And then when they get more grounded, because otherwise a man could mirror their challenge. And what they need is someone to actually help them to be receptive to like what they're dealing with. That nurturing piece they did not get.
Yeah, that's
so it's been interesting.
Yeah.
Not so much conversation around this X lately. So I'm pleased with that.
Oh, good.
Because to me, in attempting to be this safe space and a listener, I felt like it was starting to diminish my presence. And what I'm not going to do is be invisible and have to listen to all this.
Come on.
You know, like, hello.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting because my ex, we have a pretty good relationship. But I'm trying to cut the cord because he has some dependencies on me. And I'm like, no, I got to wipe this slate clean because he got ill, he had a stroke, and then now he's dealing with kidney failure and stuff. And even though he met someone else, he was still reaching out me for
Absolutely.
assistance. And
Yeah.
I'm like, if she is not going to bring value to your life, then you
Right.
have to make some decisions, because the things that you're asking me to do, she should be able to do.
At least.
At least.
And if she can't, that tells you something. Tells him that no, you.
Right. And so I was having a conversation with a girlfriend of mine, because the difference between my ex and the fella, my ex sees me but doesn't hear me. And the new guy hears me and doesn't see me. And that raised the question with another girlfriend that I was sharing that story with. Which one, if you had to choose, because we know we want both, if you had to choose between being seen or heard, which one would you choose?
0 by myself.
Well, and let me tell you the question that comes up for me, Rolana.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you not seeing and hearing yourself?
Mm-hmm. And that's my homework. So
That's your homework.
Yeah, she and I made an agreement that we were going to reflect on that.
Yeah.
That question. And
You know
and
that
then,
yeah, one of the ways that I began to use my relationship with men is that anytime they triggered something, that I took on the onus of me. Like what is there for me, instead of they do that or they did that, it's over here. Where is that? What part of me needs to be healed there?
Yep.
yes. Yes.
And I don't, and so I don't even go over there and say, I don't like that you do. That's not it, because it wouldn't be showing up in my space if it wasn't about me.
That's what I'm working on. Like,
yeah. And because he wows me when we do talk. He'll say, I'm thinking about doing blah, blah, blah. What do you think? What are your thoughts? And I stop in my tracks, because I'm like, you want to hear what I have to say?
right. That's awesome.
And you value my opinion on stuff. And, so that's been really interesting. And I've been enjoying that.
Yeah.
But still also reflecting on the visual part.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So it's been an interesting deep dive.
Oh yeah.
Wonderful.
Oh, I'm loving it. Oh,
all right, guys. I got somebody waiting on me. They like,
okay.
I was like, I said, give me 10 minutes. And now they're like, hello. I said, I'm coming here.
Okay.
Okay.
So let me know if you need anything before our next session, but check in with each other, okay? But still, and I'm gonna send out an invitation about our chat and wine, okay?
Yes, please. Okay.
Love you guys.
Take care.
Love you too.
Okay. All right.
Bye-bye.
Talk soon.